All right. Hello, all you wonderful, amazing, spectacular tea people. I hope you are doing wonderfully well today. And we are going to be talking about Sanxia Green. Spring has sprung. I don't know if you can tell behind me. It's greener, it's lighter, the birds are happier, stuff going on that's quite nice. And basically, the early spring season is upon us, and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. So on Sunday, what's happening on Sunday? Sunday, there are three things that are happening. Well, I guess probably four. So Sanxia Green, this right here, is going to be live on the site. So Sanxia Green is going to be live on the site. What else is going to be live on the site? The fresh, super fresh pomelo fragrance, flower fragrance oolong, and the orange blossom oolong. They're going to be live on the site, and they'll all be 10% off. They'll go live on Sunday, and then there'll also be the deep water oolong. What did I call it? Coastal Mountain Deep Water Oolong. Coastal Mountain Deep Water Oolong. You can tell I need some tea. I'm not quite as fast moving as I am. Although I think my eyes are a little bit wider today. I got a good sleep last night for the first time in a while. I got a good sleep for the first time in a while, thankfully. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to brew this beautiful tea. I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to show you a couple different ways to brew this tea. That's the best way to brew it. There are a couple different ways. The best way to brew it. Basically, this is the best way to brew it, just like this. That is the best way to brew it. We'll start talking about that in a second. Wherever you are, I certainly hope spring has sprung or fall is going well. So I know there's a bunch of tea that I send to the southern hemisphere, and sometimes I feel bad because I'm all excited about spring, and they're probably like, "Oh, fall's coming." I like fall. It's the end of summer, but everybody's different, right? Some people love the different seasons. For me, I am a late spring, early summer person. That for me is river tracing. You get on the rivers, you do all that stuff. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, you can see what I'm doing right here. This is a glass cup, right? Or a glass cup. And look at it. I mean, it's just so beautiful. You can just see that, right? So I've got the YouTube going as well. So forgive my hairy arm if it doesn't make it all the way. but you can see here, the leaves will start going up and down. They'll start to settle. And if you've ever been to a tea house in China, right? So a tea house in China, this is what you're getting. You're getting basically a big tall glass like this, and then they put the green tea in the top, and then they do it that way. And it is an amazing way to drink the tea. Now, usually what you do is you have the tea like this, you sit in the coffee shop, you have a conversation, and then the people would smoke. Right. So you'd have a cigarette and you'd have your green tea, and it would look basically just like this. Remember, this is a Chinese style of tea. So this is the Bilu Chun, or the some people call it like green snail, or the snail tea, or things like that. Now, I don't use the Chinese name to call this tea. I just call it Sanxia Green because it is. I mean, let's face it. It's more Taiwanese than it is Chinese. And what do I mean by that? Well, I've talked about this before on this live stream. Oh wow, I just love it. I just love it. Can you see the greenness of this? Nah, not that well. Anyways, if you get this tea, you'll see it's just this vibrant, beautiful green. And this vibrant, beautiful green is literally, we all know the green. If you're somewhere where spring pops out, you've got the tree, and then there's not very much on it, or the leaves are brown, and then the top comes up, and it's that green. It's exactly that green. It's just so beautiful. I'm not a green tea drinker, but I'll tell you, I wait every year for this tea to come out because it literally is just the blast of spring. That's exactly what it is. And to go back to what I was describing about the name of this tea. Remember the Chinese, the Chinese, um, The Chinese teas are oftentimes much more like traditionally green, whereas this one, it does have a little bit of oxidization in it. So you're getting more of the florals, and you're getting more of the fruit flavors, and you're getting more of the. It's still grassy, but it's more floral, fruity, grassy. And here we go. Cheers. It is just springtime. It's springtime. You know, what is it? Wildflowers in a meadow, with a little touch of fruit in the aftertaste. It really is. It's just so nice. And I know there's a bunch of people that are extremely, extremely, extremely excited about this tea. Every year, there's about 4 or 5 people that keep asking me, "When's it coming out? When's it coming out? When's it coming out?" I'm like, "Wait, because of this. Check it out." So there are 2 different teas. You can tell which one I bought by the amount of leaves that are left. But there are 2 different teas. Now, this one was done sort of earlier in the spring, and this one was done on the 18th. And if you take a look at the leaves, hopefully you can see. You can't really see. Can't really see. Oh, you can sort of see. Anyways, this is much, much greener. This is a little bit more silvery, a little bit more gray. And they're both from the same garden. They're both done by the same hands. They're both beautiful teas. But this one is way, way, way better. The reason that it's way, 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 way better is it just hits at the perfect time in the springtime when those leaves come up. Now this one's pushing it a little bit. This one's a little bit too early. And so it's not quite as soft. There's more fruit flavors. It's a harder brew. Whereas this one is done just in the right weather, just when it warms up, just on the right perfect day. And you can see it's a little bit greener. And so that's one of those things, right? So I try not to, and I will not now as well, I try not to digested food talk other vendors and other things like that. But you have to be really careful with the first tea of the year thing, right? It's like the first cherries of the year, the first peaches, the first apples of the year. It might not actually be the best. In fact, it's almost by definition not the best, because the best stuff comes when everything's ready. You don't rush it. You don't rush to be out first. Like, I'll give you an example. Cherries. And when I talk about cherries, I'm talking like, Okanagan, Washington cherries from North America. Now, I used to work in the cherry orchards for a couple summers way back a long, long, long time ago. And if you were a cherry farmer, you had to do a good job making cherries, growing cherries. But every year, if you were lucky, if you could get that first bunch of cherries out onto the market, you got like a 2x, you got like a double premium versus the cherries sort of near the end of the season, right? Because it makes sense. Everybody's walking around, whoa, cherries. Oh, I'm so happy it's springtime. Nom, nom, nom. Start eating them. So you get more money. By the end, I've had enough cherries. I'm good. Now, what they started doing was they started creating cherry cultivars, so types of cherry cultivars that didn't taste good, right? The cherry cultivars did not taste good. And I don't know, can somebody throw a comment in there? I can't see the comments again, so maybe can somebody just throw in one comment? Because I see lots of people joining in, but I don't see any comments. And it's fine if nobody's commenting. I'm just curious because about a couple of weeks ago, nobody could put in comments in the Instagram, and I couldn't see them. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Mr. Perry. So they work fine. Hey, everybody. Don't get me in trouble with the algorithm, Mr. World. We use digested food in this context. So what's I going to say? So, anyways, the cherry story. So, what happened with the cherries was the newer cultivars. They would plant all these newer cultivars, but they didn't taste very good. But they were like a month before all of the other cherries, and so people. It actually, obviously, like And this is the thing that drives me. It's holographic universe, right? So you create a cultivar where it's not about taste and it's not about goodness or juiciness in the context of cherries, and then it comes out early, and then people eat it and they're like, wow, the cherries are shit. The cherries are digested food this year, and you eat it, like, oh, the cherries suck this year, I'm not going to buy any more cherries, and then everybody loses out. So everybody in the whole supply chain, everybody loses out, right? And so that's what I see happening with a lot of the teas from China, the green teas from China. They're like, oh, first, actually, it was about 3 years ago when it really first started. Right now, it's not too bad. I haven't seen it too much, although I'm not really paying attention right now, actually. But you get that situation where the people suffer because you get lower quality tea. The farmers suffer because they can't sell their good tea. They get a lower price for their good tea. And in general, the entire niche market, the entire industry of the springtime green teas just suffers because all of a sudden you've got all this crap tea at the start. The people who are doing a good job sell less tea, and then you have that full sweep of dysfunction going through the industry. So, anyways, that's why I don't call it a Chinese name. I just call it Sanxia Green, and why I wait to release it until this happens. Hey, 老师,你好. Teacher, hello. How is it going? And check it out. You just got, like, if you've never had this tea and you say, oh, I don't like green teas or whatever it is, you should try it. You should really try it at least once, because this is the pick. Can you see that? Like, that's the pick of this green tea, right? It's literally pinched off by hand. You can tell it's pinched off by hand, right? So let's see if I can do it. See, turn it, and then you can see it gets wide, and then it's thin and it's wide, right? Thin, wide. So it's literally pinched by hand, right? It's not picked. There's no blades. It's literally like by people in their 70s and 80s, well, multi-generations of families. They're picking it. And it's just so delicate, like it's like you run your fingers through the tea leaves. You obviously don't do that if you're serving it to other people, but I'm the only one drinking it, so I can stick my fingers in there. And it's just so soft and it's so beautiful. And it's literally just like the green. And yes, I believe they say in the finance world, I'm talking my book. But at the same time, it's true, right? It's like, you just don't get this with very many teas, right? And this year, I'll tell you, this year I only got about well, I don't like saying how much I actually got. Anyways, I got enough, but not a lot of this tea. I love the recent Muzak competition tea. Nice to see the YouTube stream quality has improved too. Yes, I worked on that. So the YouTube stream, I'm on YouTube as well right now. The YouTube is working much better, and the Muzak competition it's more expensive, but it's a good value. Still, I guess it depends on your value and all that. But anyways, it's a good tea. It's a good tea for sure. It's just the taste of spring. And I'll be honest with you, after this time of the year, I'm not really a green tea drinker. I'm more of an oolong drinker, so I don't reach for this very often after this time of year. But this time of year, it's so nice. It really is. It's so nice. So this tea will be released on Sunday. 10% off. The email will go out at the usual time, which is about 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time in North America. And I guess what's that? Sometime in the middle of the day if you're in Europe. And 10% off for this tea, the pomelo flower oolong, and the orange blossom oolong, and the the coastal mountain deep water oolong, which makes people cry, or almost cry, I should say. And so that tea will be those 4 teas, because I got a bunch of it in. So I'm really happy about that too, because I love that tea. I'm actually, after I finish this, when I start doing my job, I'll be making some of that tea actually. And anyways, this you can see right here. I don't know if you joined in at the start of the you start join. I'm laughing because I'm looking at this right now and I'm like, oh, I made a mistake. And the reason I made a mistake was because I put in too much leaf. And so what happens when you're drinking this, and what you're supposed to do when you're drinking this, if it's much more effective, is if you put in a little bit, it starts at the top and then it sinks to the bottom, and then you have sort of a tall glass, sort of that goes like this, tall glass, glass, right, made of glass, and then you would be sitting in your Chinese cafe, you know, hustle and bustle outdoors. People are inside quietly chatting, playing mahjong or something like that. You know, it's all ornate wood all around you. You know, cigarette smoke everywhere. You're sitting there with your buddy, sort of having a chat. Somebody over there screaming and yelling, talking politics, or doing well. Depends on the tea house. And then, you know, you would sip the top. Right? You'd be sipping the top of this. I added way too much leaf to this, and it's not the right shape. It's actually sort of like this. Yes, the cup looks like a kelp bed. So you can see what I did there. What? The YouTube did it too? Oh no. Oh no. So if I do this, then the YouTube even does the stupid thing. Is it the same? Does Instagram? No, Instagram's Facebook, right? Anyways, whatever. That scares me a little bit. It's all one company. So anyway, so if I go like this, then some stupid thing pops up on the YouTube. I thought it only did that on the Instagram. Anyways, the point is, it's not supposed to look like this, right? So now if I drink this, I got to do the whole like, you know, you have to do it with your teeth at the front, and oh, there's that blast of flavor. It's so nice. And well, it's obviously very attractive. Yes, I mean it's beautiful. I mean look at it. I mean look at the leaves in there, and you can see like, well, again, why I love this so much. I got to take this one out. I'm gonna take this one out. I got my scissors here. I'm gonna take this one out because it's just so beautiful, right? So you can see it's an organic garden. There's the bug bites on the leaf, and this is just the springtime pick, right? Just that off the top. Right, and you can see it like that. It's just so beautiful. And when you do it like this, you know, it's you need a bigger cup or less leaf because it does expand. But it really looks like fresh leaves. Like it really does. You know, like it really looks like fresh leaves. And anyways, I will enjoy this for a while. I don't even have my thumb up. It's doing it again. Anyways, I guess the AI still can't understand hands, but that's okay. I won't complain about that. When the AI understands hands and emotions, then. Well, I was talking with somebody the other day. I was on a birding trip. No, I won't get into that. It's too depressing. Anyways, point is, this is a beautiful tea. It's coming in soon, and everybody can try some if you would like. And it's only good like with this green tea, right? So it's only good for 6 to 8 weeks. So by the summertime, middle of the summertime, you know, I want this to be sold out. Right. So by the middle of summertime, I want this to be sold out. I might get another batch in sort of late April if something really good pops up and they make some really good tea in late April. I might make some more, or you know, buy some of their tea in late April. But this is the pinnacle, right? This tea right here is the pinnacle of the springtime. Okay, I'm just going to do this. This is not what you're supposed to do. I put too much leaf and I used the wrong shaped cup. So I apologize for that if you're sort of the OCD tea drinker. But I mean, just look at it. It's so gorgeous. It's so beautiful. What else we got? Oh, Update on the flower scented teas. The flower scented teas are, I did a different thing this year. So usually I rely on whatever tea they have. But this year, thanks to the uh, the support of people who are watching some strange bald man drinking tea on talking to his computer and his phone on the internet, I was able to get my own tea and then have it scented by my friends. And so the tea that I got was the same garden as the Louis Red, right? So the same garden of the as the Louis Red, but it's the Jinshen or the milk oolong cultivar, and so it's got those like a beautiful tinge of floral. It's a really really high quality tea, like really high quality tea, and I got it for cheap because I know them quite well, and it was the wintertime pick, so they're just like, springtime's coming soon. I'm like, I'll just take it. And they're like, okay, fine, you take it. And so that's the tea. So it's a super high quality tea, and it's got, and the people who send it are obviously my very, very good friends. And so I'm like, like give them the flowers. And so they're the orange blossoms, got tons of orange blossoms all through it, and the pomelo is just like you open the bag and you're just like, it's amazing. When will you get in the premium tea from that special farm? My friend, all of the farms are special. And depending on your definition of premium, all of the teas are premium. I don't sell anything other than premium. Can you be more specific? You're talking about like Snow Mist? Which farm are you thinking about? Is the mayor still making his oolong this year? Just wondering after his political legal issues last year. I assume well, the way things are done in Taiwan, if it's non-violent, the Snow Mist, the Snow Mist is mid-April, late April. I'd have to look it up. Anyway, April. So we're still looking at, I think it was like April 20th, around in there. So mid to late April. So we still got some time. Another about 3 weeks till Snow Mist. But you'll know when Snow Mist comes through because I'll be up there taking photos of that beautiful, beautiful place. And so, so that you'll know when that comes through. So the other one was the mayor. In Taiwan, in general, if it's a non-violent offense in the sense of like a political offense, right? He's from the older generation, and back in the day, that's what they did. Just what they did. Then they said you can't do that, and so I highly doubt he'll go to jail. I highly doubt. It's more like a fine or something like that. I haven't been paying attention to it. I would just assume that this year his tea is a little bit more expensive. So most likely this year his tea is a little bit more expensive, but it's a great value tea, even if it's a little bit more expensive. And I'll probably get some more. And he does a pick in around this time of year, actually, late March. He does a pick. That's true. He does a pick around March. But his really good pick, when it's done really well, is in mid-May, and that's when I get like just back up the truck, and that's when I get a bunch of it and then roast it myself. And so I'll do that. Any Huayin Chen stuff? Not sure if you got Madam yet. So what happened with that was I feel actually bad about it. I started moving my warehouse, and so it was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go meet him, and then it was like, oh, move your warehouse. Time to move your warehouse. And I was like, oh. And I scraped off of everything from my brain that I didn't need at the exact moment. And I've got that done. So I'm hoping this spring I'm going to get in touch with him. I'm going to go see him. And I'm just going to be like, my man, you got the best tea. Let's do this. And so I'm hoping to do that this spring. And I've got the war chest that people have thankfully gifted me with from the sale. And so I should be able to go and be able to get enough tea, to actually make it worthwhile. So yes, that is, I feel bad about it because we were both like, okay, let's do this. And then I believe, yeah. So it just didn't work out because I was so busy. But hopefully soon. Hopefully soon for sure. Last spring was a challenging harvest. How does this spring compare? Hey man, how's it going? Great question. And as far as I can tell, this spring is probably the best spring in about 4 or 5 years. About 4 or 5 years, this is the best spring. Now I'm going to stop that. I'm going to say, but I just read that there was a reservoir on the other side of the island that's only down to like 30% capacity. So it might be patchy in different areas, but certainly on the East Coast, in the north, and I haven't heard anything at all bad from the high mountains. Now, there is a place, sort of the Taichung area, the Mingjian area, that sometimes they do go through droughts or things that are not so good in that area. So I'll temper that by saying I haven't actually heard from them yet. I've been phoning my Dragon's Eye herbal tea guy just constantly. Like, come on, when's it coming? When's it coming? I want to buy everything you've got. And the Dragon's Eye flower guy, and he was saying that this year it's not looking too good for the flowers. It looks like the yield is not that much, and so um, maybe that area is not doing so well in the sense of water, but it's certainly not like it was last year, where it was at this point of the year everybody was quite worried. All right, this point of the year last year, everybody was very, very worried because there just hadn't been any rain, no rain for months. It's not like that this year at all, not at all like that this year. So it's much better in that context. But yes, very good question, and I'm keeping track of it. I'm hoping to get more Pingling stuff this year as well, but we'll just have to see how it goes. So again, this beautiful tea, which I'm drinking right now, this blast of spring freshness, will be for sale on Sunday. I got to get my little elves to start packing it up, and and obviously I'll probably do that one. I'll let them do the oolongs. I'll let them do the oolongs. The elves can do the oolongs. But I probably have to do the green teas and the white teas and things like that because they're harder to pack. But that'll be for sale on Sunday, along with the pomelo flower oolong and the orange blossom oolong and the return of the Coastal Mountain Deepwater oolong, which is awesome. It makes me very happy. What's that you're drinking? This is the spring Sanxia Green. The spring Sanxia Green. And as you can see right here, we are now at compost levels of concentration. So if you do drink it like this, you don't need a lot of tea leaves. I was too excited. I put in way too much. And now it sort of looks like it's a little composty. But this is what you do, right? You drink it, and then you add more hot water to it throughout the day, and you just, well, however long you're going to drink it, and you just sit there and you drink it, right? You just sit there and you drink it, and you chat and all that. I really like the Coastal Mountain Oolong. A lot of people really like the Coastal Mountain Oolong. Why is it doing that? Okay. I really, really, really love the Coastal Mountain Oolong. And so that's why I got in a bunch of it. Anyways, the story is the Coastal Mountain Oolong was actually a mistake. So it was supposed to be a greener oolong, but they left it out too long, and it turned into this beautiful thing. And a lot of it was made, and the idea was to make a lot of this oolong to turn it into scented teas. And so it was relatively cheap, right? And so I said, give it to me. I want this tea. So I got it, and I realized how good it was. And I said, I need more. And my buddy's like, well, this is what I'm going to use to scent. You got to trade me for other tea, because he had like a huge bunch of it. He was going to scent it with all the different. So I went out and I bought a ton of other teas, and I brought them in, and he's helping me scent them. And I traded that tea for the other tea, and everybody's happy because I get that tea and he gets Like that tea it's so good. It kind of feels bad to scent it, and it's not to say that it won't taste good, but it just seems like that tea should be left on its own. It shouldn't be sort of scented in that way. Uh, Although if you do it the right way, obviously it's going to be better. And so and that's why I got a bunch of it, right? So I got a bunch of it, and so I um, will have it on the site for at least the next 6 months. Well, depends on what happens, but it'll be on the site for a while. And again, it'll also be released on Sunday with 10% off, like usual, like usual, at the usual time and all of that. Okay. Any last call for questions or anything? So again, this is all on YouTube as well. So if you want to watch it on YouTube, you can watch it on YouTube. And just check it out. Just check it out. You know, like, look at this. Look at this. This is, like people talk about that stuff, they're like in general, this type of pick right here, this would be made, this is the pick that you would make into a, like an Eastern Beauty or one of those teas that sell for like $1 a gram. And it's made into a green tea. And, I'm just so lucky to get this tea and so happy to be able to get it as for an affordable price and, be able to share it and everybody's happy. Like everybody's happy. We use the line. I get in touch with them. Send me this stuff, and then I'm like, give me that day. I don't ask the price. I don't ask. I say, give me that day. I don't ask how much it is. I want that day, and they just send me the entire production for that day. And and here's 2 days. Like it's not like this day was bad. It's just that this day was the pinnacle. Right? It's the pinnacle. Move is going well and finished. The video and sound is good. Thank you. Well, you know what happens when you finish the move and you like collapse into a ball, and then you look around and you're like, okay, it's done. But then you still have boxes upon boxes of crap all over the place. That's where I am right now. So I've got about a week of dealing with boxes and boxes of crap. But yes, it's done. It's done. Keys are handed back. Everything is done. And so there will never be another live stream with the poster in the back. That's done. The era is gone, which is pretty fascinating for me. That place, a lot of memories there. And but I tell you, I'm happy to be here. It's like an order comes in at 7:00 at night, and after the kids go to bed, I'm like, okay, let's pack it up. I got time, like let's do it. Okay, yeah, place it. The next day, I can just mosey on over to the, quietly and softly mosey on over to the post office and not have to worry about it. I'll miss the poster. The construction sounds, not so much. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes the construction sounds in that area. It was so echoey. Let's put it that way. It was so echoey. But yeah, and it'd be so random. But it'd be like 4 apartments down, and somebody's drilling, and he'd be like, oh, and the whole place is. Anyways, here. Bugs, birds. There's this big, huge. Here, I'll show you. Actually, there's this big, huge tree, right here. There's an owl, beautiful owl that lives in there, and so that's a big old cypress. And so that's the sound, or not cypress. Zangshu, which is not cypress, Vicks Vapor Rub, camphor, right? So that's a big old camphor tree right there, and an owl lives in there. And we're having dinner, and we hear the mating call of that particular owl. My wife always berates my children with how lucky they are. You hear that, owl? Remember that. You guys are lucky. And I do the same thing, but with different things. We go to the river. Do you understand how lucky you are? You can go swimming in this. But but yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Much better than the old place. Camphor and benzoin. Yes, but unfortunately, it's all synthetic camphor now. You can't get sort of real camphor oil. You can look it up, and I think in the United States it was outlawed because like 5 milligrams is actually poisonous of the camphor oil, and so you can't get any real camphor oil anymore, or it's very very hard to get. And so Vicks Vapor Rub and things like that is all just horrible chemicals. But on that happy note, and by no means unique to. So again, this is, don't do this, right? Do a better job. I'm just on the live stream and I really want to drink it. So, and I'm also sort of on the back porch. So when the water goes down, it's no problem. I want to try mangoes grown in Taiwan. Well, there's a tangential topic. And yes, so I used to run a tour business, and I would always in the springtime, summertime, I'd always give them mangoes for lunch. And there's only people from 2 countries in the world that didn't literally scream with joy. Why are there balloons? Anyways, I got to turn this. Sorry, there was all these weird balloons that came up when I did this on the YouTube. I'm getting old. Anyways, I'm getting old. That's just weird. Anyways, the point is there's only people from 2 different countries that I got to do a Google search how to turn all that crap off. Anyways, there's only people from 2 different countries. It happened again. So if I put my fingers up like that, then it brings balloons. Isn't that random? I don't know, is that a TikTok thing or something? Anyways, 2 countries don't scream with joy when they eat the mangoes from Taiwan. One is the Philippines, and they go, yeah, these mangoes are okay. And the other one is from India, and they go, yeah, okay, yep. They could be a little sweeter, right? So Thai, no, usually the people from Thailand are, but generally speaking, people from Thailand are a little bit more low key. So even if they were really impressed, they probably wouldn't say anything about it. Yeah, maybe Thailand too. I don't know. Anyways, I don't have deep memories of people from Thailand and mangoes. What is this? Those 2 countries. So anyone else from any other country in the world is like best mangoes I've ever had, and I tend to agree with them. Although I haven't spent a lot of time in the Philippines and I haven't spent a lot of time in India, but Taiwanese mangoes are spectacular. All right, let's see. Let's do a test. I'm not going to put my thumb up, but I'm just going to go like this. Yeah, I did it. Okay. How the hell do you turn that crap off? said the grumpy old man on the live stream. But I'll figure that out. Let's see. I'm gonna try that. Yep. There we go. Coming up on. Why would balloons come up when you go yeah? Okay, let's try this one. Let's see if this one works. Nope, that doesn't. Western centric. Again, obviously this is Korean. But anyways, I'm good. I'm TI. I think we're good for now. But last call for questions, and I'm enjoying this green tea much too much, and so I got to go pack a little bit of tea and keep going on all my stuff. So good. Just literally the taste of spring. Um, well, thank you, Mr. Squirrel, or Squirrel. I don't want to misgender you. Um, but anyways, thank you guys for watching. So wherever in the world you are, if you are, you know, morning, evening, night, all of that different type of stuff, thanks for watching. Remember, the Sanxia Green, the Pomelo, and the Orange Blossom will be released on Sunday at the usual time, 10% off for 3 days. Same old, same old. I hope you have an amazing evening, night, all of that stuff. See you next live stream.